But I'm super, super duper excited to have you here because the first time you and I met you on my birthday, and I met you through my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the way it was kind of funny because I want to tell the story because the way it was funny because her and I were both going out for our license, our gun license.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm military, so I'm supposed to already have mines and all this stuff, but I didn't like go get all I had was like my DD2, my DD12 or whatever, my DD214. Yeah. And I didn't need to go to like any gun training or anything because I already had all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she needed to do all of that stuff, right? So I'm like way behind. I'm still haven't gotten mine. Next thing you know, she calling me. She's like, girl, I got my license. I got my gun. I'm like, how did you do all of that? So she told me you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I got to check this person out.
Right.
Let's see what this is all about.
Right.
So I want to know, like, what is like your process? And like, first of all, before we even get into your whole process of how people can even like be certified as a gun owner,
Mm-hmm.
why did you even get into this business? Like how did that happen?
So I started, I've been teaching now 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
I initially got into it because when I was 7, 8, somewhere around there,
Mm-hmm.
my mom and her 3 kids, me, my brother, and my sister, who were leaving my grandmother's house on MLK in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, while we were waiting at the bus stop, a dude walked up and robbed her at gunpoint.
Wow.
And I remember feeling helpless that, I couldn't help my mom, and me being the eldest of her sons, the eldest child, kind of took it personally at the time. And then later on, years later, a friend of mine who's a nurse was leaving Tampa General, and someone walked up, ran up, and grabbed her purse, and was high off meth, did not realize the purse was wrapped around her arm, and dragged her about a block and a half before he realized that he was dragging her.
Oh my goodness.
And the friction kind of scarred her up real bad. So
wow.
Yeah. So
and you were how old at the time?
17, 18, somewhere around there.
So from having someone, rob your mom, and then having that happen to, you say, your sister?
No, it was just a close friend of mine.
A close friend of yours. So that had to be very traumatizing for you. So you probably were thinking like, what? Like I gotta be able to know how to shoot somebody.
So I've always been very militant, and wanted to more so teach everybody else how to protect themselves. I was always good with guns, even as a little kid, but I was never a fan of them. And then once I started realizing, okay, yeah, let me start teaching other people to protect themselves. That's when it branched off into something different. And it's like, all right, let me go ahead and look into it and start taking different training. So, I took everything up to sniper training, from basic handguns, cleaning classes, being an armorer, different things like that. I was like, all right, let's do it.
So for 14 years, you were doing that, like training, all that stuff. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing now, because I think, do you have like your own gun range? Like what?
So I have 12 different gun ranges on contract. I have a primary range. Shout out to Shoot Straight, who tolerates all of my shenanigans. So I have 12 different ranges on contract that I'm able to go teach at, that I have $1 million insurance to cover when me and my students are there. So Shoot Straight on 301 and MLK here in Tampa is one of the main ones. And then Guncraft out in Ruskin, which is an outdoor range, is my advanced range, because you can do a lot more outdoors than you can indoor. You can't draw from concealment, or hide behind objects, or shoot from cover, anything like that. At the outdoor range, we can set up obstacle course, and you can go for it.
I love that. Yes, I love that. So if what like got you into, how did you even get started into Shoot Straight? Like, did you just walk in, you have a contract with them? Like, how did that work?
Like I literally walked in and was like, hey, want to teach a class, what's the criteria, what's going on? And they explained, they were nice about it. It's like, yeah, just we need this documentation. So initially,
that is so cool. Yeah. That was so brave of you. I would have never been able to do that.
No, I mean, at the point, because there's my main thing is I was looking for a black gun range, and unfortunately there aren't any.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, there's one in the state of Florida, which is in Miami. Hopefully one day I will open the second one.
Yes.
But yeah, the one in Miami, of course, that's too far. When I travel down there and teach, then okay, yeah, that's where I'm going. But here I had to find someone that was reputable, that I knew was going to be consistent. I also wanted someone that if I happen to forget ammo, or if I happen to forget targets, that they had that stuff in stock. So Shoot Straight was a clear choice for me. And then later on, I started finding about these smaller ranges. There's one right here on Fowler, the indoor shooting company. Much smaller range. You can't shoot rifles. So it's like, let me go to Shoot Straight. I can shoot everything from A to Z and rock out like that.
So how did you get the word out? Because you started, basically you did this on your own. How did you get the word out?
So I've tried. Anyone that started business will tell you, starting off in business, you do 10 million things wrong. I started out with shirts. I ordered 10,000 business cards, websites. I had magnets on my car. I did Facebook advertising, and literally at the end of the day, it came down to Facebook, Instagram, and my website.
So what was the whole purpose? Like, I know that you said you wanted to shoot, you wanted to teach people, but like, what was the whole? Because it seems like you're more of a black activist. Like, you really want black people to know how to shoot and understand weapons. So why did you shoot towards I really want people to go to gun ranges and learn how to shoot? Like, why did you feel like people need to know that?
That's a huge part of it. Me personally, so a lot of people don't understand when you come to a concealed weapons or firearms class, the basic concealed weapons class is considered a safety class. Legally, we don't have to talk about the laws and things of that nature. We're not required to. Certain things we do have to go over, yes, but as far as the actual laws, we're not required to go over them. I wanted to make sure that in our community that we know when we can, when we can't, what we can't do. Where we can carry, where we can't, things of that nature. And that's been my biggest drive in the way that I teach, the way I go about doing what I do, to make sure that, and I hate to say it this way, but it's real. In the white communities, they definitely have people teaching from, kids from 3 up, and they're ingrained with this knowledge. You see dudes carrying guns and don't know the first thing about it, and then they get in a gunfight and they die, and they're like, oh, but I had my gun. Yeah, but you...
I love that. And see, now you're making me want to take a class too, because when I was in the military, they put all type of guns in our hands, but they do not tell us the laws and the constitutional laws and things like that. So I love that you're actually teaching them how to use the weapon, and you're educating them on the laws, the amendments and all that stuff that is required through the state of Florida. So I love that. So you've been doing this for 14 years. What is the most important lesson that you teach in the concealed carry case in the course? Like, what is the most important lesson besides the gun laws? Like, is there anything else that you teach them as far as the gun, how to carry it, or anything about the safety?
The safety, and I try to stress situational awareness and de-escalation. So situational awareness is a game changer. You can be the best, quickest gunslinger in the state of Florida, and if I'm able to get up on you because you're not aware of your surroundings, I don't care how quick you are. So stress situational awareness. As a matter of fact, since the holidays coming out here, y'all please be very aware of your surroundings. Make sure that you have your gifts or your goods in your trunk, not visible in your back seat. It is that holiday season. People are going to be trying to snatch purses and rob and do nefarious things. So be aware of your surroundings.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate you for saying that as well. So would you say the best caliber for someone to use when it comes to self-defense?
So in self-defense, the minimum caliber you need is 380 and higher. So 22, 25, even 32 in most cases, they do not have enough stopping power to actually put force on a person and put them down, or to cause enough damage to make them second guess what they're doing. 380 or higher, I always suggest hollow points. Hollow points are designed to, on impact, spread open, cause more damage. And then what most people don't realize is when they're spreading open, they're grabbing onto what's inside that person, slowing them down.
Oh, wow.
Potentially preventing them from going through them and hitting somebody innocent.
Wow. Do you have any of one of those right now to show?
Of course.
Okay, let me see if we can zoom in on this. And I'm just going to put the camera a little bit closer. And spirits, you can see this on the YouTube channel as well. It's going to be on my YouTube. So definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, the camera right here. So these are the ones that you practice with, and then are any of these the real ones, or are the red tips the ones, the practice ones?
No, so the red tips are the hollow points.
Okay.
The let's see here. Target ammo is just your full FMJ. Okay. So this is a target round.
Let me show that.
Yeah, that's your target round. And
target round.
Yeah, full metal jacket or FMJ. And all it does is, the difference between the two is that, there we go, we'll pull a look at it. Okay. So the difference between the two is that this one is nice and smooth. There's nothing to grab onto it to slow it down or to prevent it from going through your target, hitting something else until it's hit something hard enough to stop it. With the hollow points, because they're expanding, they're opening up, and they're literally grabbing on to whatever's in their path enough to make sure that they are, again, potentially, depending on how close, depending on what you're shooting at, it's not a guarantee, but it does have that X factor where it is helping to slow it down and potentially not hitting somebody innocent.
Gotcha. And that's very important, because I don't know. I remember a whole incident back when Tupac was like at the park or something, and then somebody was trying to shoot at him. They end up hitting the child or whatever the case may be. But then you're saying that it can actually come out of them and like hit another person.
Absolutely.
So that's good to know if you're, if you anybody that's, want to be able to protect somebody else, if you're only targeting a one person or whatever the case may be. So that's good to know.
So one of the things to understand is, even if let's say you get into an incident and you're literally legally defending yourself, and you shoot and it goes through somebody and hits someone innocent, you may not be criminally liable, but you're definitely civilly liable.
Got you.
You know what I mean? And you could be criminally liable if there was some form of negligence or things of that nature. But even if it's a clean shoot, it was clear-cut self-defense, you're liable for every single round that you fire.
Right.
So another thing, please, because I'm gonna preach on this on my page later on, with the New Year's coming up, please don't shoot in the air.
Yeah.
Shoot, if you just have to shoot in a soft, dirtied area. Make sure it's clear of debris so there's no ricochet. I actually had a partner of mine that was walking his 3-year-old daughter to the store a few years ago in St. Pete. And someone shot a rifle round in the air, and it came down and took his shoulder off while he was walking his daughter to the store.
Oh my gosh. So it can just hit anywhere. I had no idea that was possible.
Oh, yeah. When a round goes up, it is coming back down a lot harder and a lot faster than when it went up.
Oh my gosh.
So, and according to the ballistics, the bullet that was fired was over 5 blocks away.
Wow.
So yeah, please shoot soft, dirted area. Make sure it's clear of debris so there's no ricochet. Or just go to the gun range.
Yes, or just go to the gun range. Real legal stuff can affect you, if you are not, taking care of these or handling these guns properly. So yes. So let me ask you this, and you probably already answered. How do I know if I'm choosing the right gun for myself?
So it's all about personal preference. How it feels in your hand. So for instance, this is a 9mm. It's clear, by the way. We're in here. It is clear. But 9mm Gen 4 Glock 19. the Glock 43X. Now, both of these are 9 millimeters.
Mm-hmm. I like this one better because it's so much smaller.
and most people will say that this one is actually easier to shoot.
Oh, wow.
So the bigger the gun, the more weight it has, the weight helps absorb the recoil.
Oh.
Now, that's something to take into account.
Mm-hmm.
Also, where are you going to carry it? For women, they have bra holsters, panty holsters, thigh holsters, purse holsters, hip holsters. I'm pretty sure now they got some, you just wherever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
they're coming out with all kinds of things.
If they ain't got it, if y'all think about it,
right.
They want to come
Underwear
out with
holster.
they got those.
Oh, they already
they do.
Dang. Okay.
Like, you want to get some? Okay. Oh,
they got
goodness.
It. So they coming out with everything.
Yeah, but how does it feel in your hand?
Mm-hmm.
Can you manipulate? Can you manipulate the slide? Can you function with it? Again, where are you going to keep it? Where are you going to conceal it? Just a bunch of different factors. It's literally about personal preference.
Right.
They're the same size. These guns are literally, one's almost half the size of the other one,
mm-hmm.
and yet and still they shoot the same size bullet. They're going to do the same amount of damage.
Right.
As far as the round. So it's about what's comfortable for you. You don't want to get something that's overly big that you can't handle. You don't want to get something that's too small that you can't handle.
Right.
How does it feel in your hand? Can I actually use the functions of the weapon? And then everyone knows Glock. Glock is synonymous in the gun world with, their slogan literally is Glock perfection. Shout out to Glock, one of my personal favorite brands. But Glocks don't make external safeties.
Mm.
So,
and what's an external safety?
So an external thumb safety would be on the firing side, the strong side of the gun, for you to, there we go, boom, for you to click on and off. And all it does is prevent the trigger from being depressed when you're not meaning to.
Wow. Okay.
Glocks don't have external safeties. So if that's something that, let's say you're a new shooter, or
mm-hmm.
that's just something that you're adamant about having, then you definitely want to find a firearm that has the features that you're looking for, that's comfortable for you, that's in your price point. You don't want to go out and spend $1,500 on your first gun and then a year later don't like it.
Right. Right.
I literally got guns that's, an arm and a leg, and I never carried like the Desert Eagle. Like, where am I going to carry that thing?
Right, I know that's the one I saw on my birthday.
Yeah. What am I going to do with that? So
right.
Me personally, I'm a 9 millimeter guy,
mm-hmm.
and the reason being is I'm a doomsday prepper.
Mm-hmm.
So I think about, even, let's say, God forbid, let's say there's some type of pandemic where we are now, there's an EMP, there's
mm-hmm.
no power grid, everything's crazy,
right? And it can happen because, like, the way the world is looking right now, it's starting to get crazy.
Or even something that's more likely to happen. Let's say there's a race war.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say there's a race riot or second civil war, however you want to word it. You know what I mean? I know if this Ahmaud Arbery trial don't go right, a lot of people going to be ready to shoot. So, but I try to think about, where can I get more ammo?
Right.
9 millimeter is the most used round in the world.
Okay. So, that's good to know.
So if I run out, because, they're finite.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually I'm going to run out. Where can I trade or barter or be able to steal something? If I have a 5.7, which is a very rare round, most people don't have it, it's less likely for me to find ammo in a scenario when I need it.
Right. That makes sense.
So, yeah.
So a 9 millimeter is a more accessible
absolutely
weapon when it comes.
Still got enough power for me to
do what you got to do. I get you. So how many firearms would you say like a person should have, or would you limit a person of firearms?
I definitely would not put a limit on it. It's all about your budget, and also about you being able to safely store them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm big on that. I have kids, for y'all out there that have kids,
mm-hmm.
We want to make sure our kids are safe. And at the end of the day, we're human. You go out with the girls and have one too many mimosas, a glass of wine, or me having too many shots of hen or whatever, and I set my gun down. or I just got guns laying around the house and forget that they're there. One of my kids' friends come over, there's a potential, accident. So get as many guns as you can safely store. If you can't buy a safe or lockbox, then you may want to wait.
Yeah.
But absolutely, me personally, I believe if you have the money over time, you should have at least one rifle style gun, one shotgun, one handgun.
Show me. I know you were you brought so many goodies. So show me like a couple of things that you think. I think this is not an M16, is it?
This is not. So this is is a 308. Technically, this is a pistol.
Oh, okay.
Technically, this is a pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah. So technically,
okay.
This is a Diamondback 308. Technically, this is a pistol, and the reason because is that the barrel is less than 16 and a half inches, and it has this nice little gadget here, which is a pistol brace. So because of the shortness or length of it, the ATF qualifies this as a pistol. Now, clearly, this is a rifle, and the round for it, and anyone that knows firearms, 308s is a lot bigger than an AR or AK round. This is a big boy. She has a lot of power.
Yes.
This is one of my favorites simply because of how compact it is. I can use it to clear tight spaces or maneuver, and still have the power for something a little bit more long distance if I need to get a little.
I was gonna say, what would you shoot this for? What would you shoot this with? I'm sorry, like deer hunting. That's not a hunting gun though.
It can be.
It can be.
Absolutely. Okay. I personally would, depending on if someone breaks in, I would probably, depending on.
Because I was always raised to use a shotgun if someone breaks in.
I do love shotguns. They are very powerful. Shotguns are probably one of my top favorite guns or favorite style guns to shoot. But if someone's breaking in, I may grab this. It's out of these two.
Okay.
This one because it has the light on there. So
nice.
At nighttime, if I need to, and also that'll blind you.
Oh yeah.
It'll cause you to back up. And this one here.
This one has a
Yeah. So this one has a 2.5 by 20 scope on it.
Right.
It's zeroed in, meaning that it is on target up to, I think this one is zeroed at 100 yards. So she's pretty on point.
Nice. And how many times have you shot in that lately?
Oh, I probably in the last 3 months I probably ran about 5,000 rounds through.
Nice. And you do that at the gun range? Like you can take these big ones at the gun range? I always thought that you can take.
No, absolutely.
So you can actually practice with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my Mossberg Maverick.
Now that's a shotgun.
Yeah, this is a shotgun.
I love the sound.
Yeah, that sound is universal.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely universal. Again, one of my favorite style guns to shoot. There's like you hear that.
Yeah.
You hear that? Yeah, like if you still in the way, that's just on you.
Right.
That's at that point.
Now talk to me about the handling with the shotgun, because I know when I was in the military, it had a huge drawback, like a kickback with my shoulder.
Right.
Do you teach them like how to hold it in your facility? Like, do you let them know all of that stuff as well? Because I was not prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the main things for me personally is I try to make you feel comfortable while you're shooting. I'm not going to start you off on something that's so big and so treacherous that it immediately turns you off from shooting. As an instructor, I failed at that point because, if it's not something that you like to do, you're less inclined to come back and practice. You're less inclined to really get the training that you need.
Gotcha.
And that's literally, very, backwards or contradictory to my goal. My goal is not for you to come in and say, for the CCW or the concealed weapons permit, you need one class. My goal is not to say, okay, you got your one class, thank you for your money,
right.
Keep it moving. Especially in the Black community, I want you to come back and train. I want you to be proficient, especially with something that literally changes lives.
Mm-hmm.
For the ladies, I tell them all the time, Monday nights at a bunch of the ranges, ladies shoot free.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ladies shoot
free.
Ladies
shoot free Monday nights at which one? The shooter range?
So shoot straight. There's
shoot straight.
Yeah, shoot straight. Ladies shoot free. Now you do have to have your own gun,
ammo,
things of that. You just don't pay the range fee, the $17
Gotcha.
range fee.
Okay.
However, even if you don't have your own gun, they have it where you can literally become a member.
Mm-hmm.
Member.
A member.
Yeah, there you go. And you're able to rent one of theirs, which is phenomenal. So let's say you want to buy a gun and you go out there and you rent 2 or 3 of theirs, and you're literally able to try them to see what's comfortable before you go spend the money to buy your own, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Or call me, and if I got the one you're looking for, I'll meet you at the range and you can pop a few off and see what's up.
Boom.
But yeah, there's no minimum or maximum of guns to have. The minimum is 1. That's
right.
We need to change
definitely need one.
we
in every
need
household.
to change that in the Black community. We definitely need to change that. And then I'm gonna speak on something that's a little controversial. Train your kids. I know, like, a lot of people like, oh, I'm not training my kids to shoot. It's dangerous. You train them to drive, and that's dangerous.
Yes, that's true.
In the 14 years I've been doing this, every year I do an analysis of my students for my purposes and for my business, and it's literally almost a 60% difference in the amount of Caucasian children that their parents have sent to me to train versus the kids in our own community.
So wait, you actually train children?
Oh yeah, my kid. My personal kids have been shooting since they were 5.
Wow.
My oldest son has been shooting since he was 3.
Take my daughter too.
I
have tried to put a gun in her hand. She is scared. So how do you get them over that fear? Like,
so. That's all right. Glock 44.
Yeah.
So Glock 44. Clear. Glock 44, which is a 22. So shoots the little baby round. And literally, it's like shooting a high powered. I kind of compare it to a high powered BB gun. A little more powerful than that, but that's what I tell the kids. And literally, it's not as loud as the other guns. So they start getting that confidence. I start my adult shooters out with that.
Okay.
Because, again, I want something in your hand that you shoot and you're like, oh, that's not as bad as what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Okay, I can do this. Once you got that self-confidence, you're absorbing the instruction that I'm giving you. You now have built that confidence in yourself to continue trying, to continue learning. To now, at this point, now we can make something happen. Now we can get you to that point where you feel comfortable enough to actually protect yourself.
Got you. Right. So let's talk about your teachings in your classes, because I know that you want to get the word out and you want to teach as many people as possible. What are some packages and how can people find you?
Okay, so TFT813.com is my website. Tampa Firearm Training. You'll see the logo. Yes. Tampa Firearm Training on both Instagram and Facebook. I have in-home classes, cleaning services. So if you say, hey, look, I don't want to learn how to clean my gun. I simply just don't have the time. I don't have the equipment. I don't have the necessary cleaning supplies. I say, okay, cool. You come to me and drop it off. I clean it, okay, for a nominal fee. Bring it back to you. Cool. Everything's good. And you say, hey, listen, I need to learn how to clean my gun because it is imperative that the firearms are clean and maintained properly. So I want to learn how to do that. And I'll come and do that. So I have in-home training classes, basic safety, and then with range classes, I have the basic concealed weapons, advanced tactics, draw from concealment, advanced shooting, and then sniper rifle and shotgun training.
Nice. Okay. Well, I definitely have so many more questions to ask you, but we're going to have to do that for a later time because I want to introduce you to someone as well. But I do appreciate you, Carlos, for stopping by.
Yeah.
Center.
Well, I got decent mic in the building right
Just
now.
calling out what he sees on the camera,
Okay.
microphone, or whatever.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Make sure.
I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here.
Other son,
Hey.
Go let the dogs out the cage.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
So this is Red coming in the building. And I wanted to introduce you to him. So, hey, Remy, before we get started, I wanted to introduce you really quick to Carlos, the Tampa firearm guy.
Carlos, how you doing, brother?
How are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Good, man. I like that shirt, man. I'm gonna have to buy one from you.
It's not mine. It's Redstone Firearms.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I be thinking that he be making his own stuff.
Okay.
No. I support black owned and everything I do. So Redstone Firearm. Yeah,
and they are dope. I started following them not too long ago.
Yeah, they're the ones who got me into this level at least.
Okay, that's what's
and
up.
I took it there.
That's dope.
But I know that you two have a lot of similarities, Remy. So I wanted him to meet you, and I wanted you to meet him because, like I said, he has his own. Well, he does firearm training here in Tampa, and there's no like black gun ranges and stuff like that. So that's why he wanted to like get the word out there. And you were doing that in California, and then are you trying to do that also in Atlanta as well?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, cool. So you guys definitely need to link up. I think you already follow each other on social media, right?
Yeah, I followed him after you told me. Just so you know, brother, I'm trying to link up with as many like-minded people that understand that our people need to be educated.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna just say this bluntly: I'm not as arrogant as some of the brothers and sisters I've met, where I feel like it's a competition.
Right.
It's about the community. So, I don't need the acclimates. I don't need the recognition. I just care about people being trained.
Right, I completely agree. One of the things, and like you, meeting other instructors, there is that issue. Me personally, I feel like we can all learn something from each other.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
So Tig, who's also in Atlanta, Marshall, my sister's keeper defense, really put me.
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
When she started Iron Sharpens Iron, and I'm like, iron sharpens iron. And then I started meeting these people in the community, and it's like, all right, like Rambo, he kind of specializes in this, and then you got this one that specializes in this, and it's like, damn, all right, I'm good at sidearms, but this dude just taught me something about shotgun shooting that I wouldn't have known, or rifle shooting that I wouldn't have known. So I'm open-minded to any legitimate instructors. Let me say that, because you got a lot of these.
We have a lot in our community that just trust me. I focus on domestic violence and home defense.
Okay.
And there's many times I've been at the range where I see guys where you can tell their only objective is how many of these women I can sleep with.
Yeah. See, now that's,
you know what I mean? And for me, I used to be a school teacher. On any accord, when you're a teacher, the most irresponsible thing you could be doing is dating your student.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's just, if that's the only way you have game, that's really sad.
Yeah.
So, for me, I want to learn from everybody. Like you just said, I'm going to drive down to Florida, and I'm going to take classes from you, and I'm going to pay my fee and learn from you, because that's the only way we support each other. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, and I specialize in handguns too. I'm not a rifleman yet. I'm learning from a brother who's teaching me right now. But I also do security, home, all kind of stuff. So again, we're on the same place. Iron does sharpen iron. I'm happy I got to know you. The queen has been amazing in my life, and I've been able to get to know her well over the years. So I trust her judgment and who she's bringing around me. So.
Absolutely, my brother. And I look forward to it. I was just telling her I was recently in Atlanta. Now, I wish at the time we had been able to link up there, and we would have known, been aware of each other
right
at a point in time. But like you said, next time I'm in Georgia, I'm gonna definitely link up with you. And when you down here, link up with me, bro.
Yeah, we can all go together.
Yeah, and that's how it works out.
You'd be surprised. I'm at a place where I can travel now, so I'll be making moves just because I can't wait no more. The time is now. Every day I watch our current situation and see how detrimental it is to where we want to be and where we need to be. Absolutely. I was very big on social media till social media started their hard body censorship. Mm-hmm. And I've learned so much, and I try to use that to let other people understand why I'm more active in real life. Prime example is this sister here. Many times I would have just seen her comments, liked her comments, nothing. But it doesn't make sense if we're not tangibly meeting each other, building on social media. We already see, a lot of melanin people feel isolated and on an island in their reality with the people around them who don't think like they do. So why not reach out to these people on social media that you comment with every day, that you follow their page every day? And I tell people all the time, my goal is not to have a follower, but to build leaders with me.
Right. I like that.
So just give me 1 second. Let me grab a couple things.
Okay. Well, you can hang out whenever you're ready. I just wanted you to meet him. Okay. Yeah.
You seem like a decent bro. I'm going to have to link up with it. Definitely have to link up with it.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm glad you guys met. Now, here's the thing. Don't get mad at me.
Okay. So.
But it keep on telling me that it hasn't recorded.
There's some other patches you may like that Redstone does.
Oh, nice. You see that? It says
okay.
Trust me, I get every time I go to the gun range. They're like, "Oh, those are your patches? They're on my bag, aren't they?"
Yeah, right. So I see you got the NAAGA on there. Remember? Okay.
Yep, I support them. I actually am my full-time job is I'm in film. I have a production company. Okay. So with Redstone, I went to SHOT Show last year. And I have a found respect for NAGA because we got racially profiled. They brought about 7 or 8 security guards and cops after us. And when I tell you, just a bunch of people who's, may not want their names called online, but they supported us, surrounded them back.
Oh, don't worry. I know. So I've heard, and the name you mentioned is one of he's been somebody like you. Like I said, I started following him on IG and reached out to him, and he's been a mentor of mine, that somebody I can just bounce ideas off of or ask questions to. And like you said, when we link up with like-minded people that's in our community, the wealth of knowledge, or even just the camaraderie of being around someone that has the like mindset, the like goals, that's not just a dreamer, that's actually putting them in actions, is a huge game changer. So yeah, I definitely understand. I haven't had the privilege of going to SHOT Show. I wanted to try to go 2020. I know it's coming up in January in Vegas. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to make it out there. Finances supporting. I try to go more so to like the Iron Sharpers Irons, because it is black, black owned. I try to go to things like that where I can learn. SHOT Show is definitely on my list, but it's a little bit lower on the priority poll for me as opposed to the continuous training for me.
Well, the thing about SHOT Show for us while we went big time was that we met all these gun instructors from all across the country.
Right.
We all linked up together. They had dinner together. They had lunch. We took pictures, just to show the camaraderie. It is sometimes hard for all of us to get in one place.
Yeah.
But now that we are building our own little situations like Iron Sharper Iron, that may not be necessary anymore because we now have a location where we all can meet and meet each own platform on our own. We don't need theirs anymore.
Yes, definitely.
But one of the things I was getting to was that NAGA backed me, backed us strong.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these organizations, they'll come together, but when it's time to risk it or take a stance that may not be financially stable for them to stand with their people, sometimes people buckle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From the president come down. So just to throw that in there,
Yeah. So I like you, I'm a member, faithful member. I'm gonna make sure that I stay a part of the organization. Just some of the work that I've seen them do, they're not one of these, like you said, one of these organizations that's trying to look good for Instagram. They are out in the community and putting in the work. And for me as a brother, as a father, you know, that's big. Like, I don't need somebody that's just gonna post, hey, do this, don't do that, you know, Black Lives. No, are you actually out here, you know, standing behind the message that you're portraying? Are you living this life? And that's definitely an organization that me personally, I feel like has put the effort, the resources into it to support brothers, like you said, either something as simple as a situation like that, or, you know, just continuous training, or helping people that may not have the finances to get training, things of that nature. They have definitely stepped up and been a part of that. And now I'm very appreciative of that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my brother, she's gonna go ahead and deal with your interview. I'm gonna get out of here. Listen, we definitely need to link up.
Yeah. Do you mind giving him all my information?
Yeah, no, I can do that.
Yeah. And when you text me a picture. I'm very old school. If I don't know, so on a friend level, let me tell y'all what happened to me yesterday. So I was in an 8-year relationship, and I'm single now. I'm not the best dater. I don't know how to date. I'm learning right now. So I'm on these dating apps. I meet a young lady. She ain't called me. We talked once. She didn't call me for like 4 or 5 days. So I went back on a dating app.
Yeah.
Met a lady I was excited to talk to from the Bronx, Cali. So I'm waiting for her to call me. The other shorty calls my phone. Now, this is why I asked for pictures. All I was a name. So I jump up, hey, what's up? So I heard
like you've been talking to her.
She was like, no, I'm not. I'm like, I said, I'm asleep. I gotta call you back. Bye. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was 12 again. I'm like, I don't like lying. So before I start lying, I just got off the phone.
That's real. Hey, listen, man. You ain't wrong though. Sometimes you just got to say, hey, you know what? Now ain't the time. Let me regroup. I hit you back. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I just said, damn, well, that was a lost cause, because she was not happy that she was like, I'm not from the Bronx. I'm like, and she was nice too. You know me, I love my dark skinned women. So she was chocolate and
just be real. Just be like, listen, this app is crazy. Can you send a picture?
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, so I asked for the pictures for that reason. So I know who I'm talking to in case I wake up out of my sleep, or just because I do security work.
Okay. Yeah.
So sometimes all I can do is look at my phone real quick, see a name, hit the little old man Bluetooth, and be able to rap with you. My boy keeps telling me, take that shit out your ear when you talk to people. Like, well, I am old, man. I am old.
You probably got the one that go around the. Please don't tell me you got the one that goes in the ear or the one around the neck.
Oh no, not the neck. Oh God, no. Oh God, no. I got the ear.
Okay. The neck one, I'm like, seriously,
oh, no.
Still rocking that?
No, that's my uncle. My uncle be Love Jones on the phone to them 50-year-old, 60-year-old women with that thing around his neck. I'm like,
I love it though. I'm gonna start wearing it too.
King, please hit me up. Let's talk. And when I say I want to come sooner than later.
Yes, that's please come.
About my training, and I film. So if there's any way we could film something together, you know, while we're down there, that would be a pleasure.
I would love. I would definitely love that.
He's gonna need your expertise on that for real.
Yeah,
he needs your expertise.
I can help you with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
My brother. That, you know, again, this is one of the reasons that I like networking and being able to meet, like, again, people in our community. You know what I mean? So we kind of got a similar background. I did security for over a decade and did executive protection and things of that nature. So trust me, when you say security, I understand. But, you know, as far as the film, I don't have as much experience. So being able to link with someone that can share that knowledge, man, that's phenomenal, brother. I definitely appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to just us coming out here shooting, having drinks. And when I'm up there, vice versa, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Again, like-minded people. I'm a teacher. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you got to hire me. I'm going to teach you how to use your cell phone and free apps to do what I can do for you. And the only time you have to call me when it's some bigger production, when you're like, hey, Remy, I can't do this on my cell phone.
Right.
Like, that's the only way we're going to come up if we keep teaching each other the things that we know, you know?
Even her, she'll tell you, I know information if you want it.
Yeah.
I'd rather teach you how to fish so you ain't got to keep calling me because you might know how to season it better and I want to eat with you.
Yeah. There you go. That's the truth, bro. But definitely, bro, it was nice meeting you.
Yes.
we definitely got to link up, my brother. I appreciate, you know, you taking the time to meet with me, and of course she's a wonderful queen. She always uplifting it and getting that, man. So, you know, I thank her for being you know, able to put us in the same arena and say, okay, yeah, these two Black brothers on the same path. I feel like they can help each other. They can network. They can, you know what I mean, rock. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. We'll talk. I can't wait to talk to you. Thank you.
All right, my brother. Be blessed.
You too. Be safe.
You need me to help you with anything?
Nah, I got it.
He brought all his guns, Remy.
That's beautiful. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
Hey. Okay, cool. So I had already hit record on here because I wanted to capture that meeting. Because that's gonna go like
your camera's
behind the scenes.
I'm losing some of your headroom on my camera. I don't know if it's recording that way.
Yeah.